Namaste. This is our yin yoga flow for this week. And the inspiration is actually coming from my evening last night. My son and I have gotten into a show called All American. We've watched it for the last couple years and we just Netflix it. And there's a new season that just came out recently, and we've been watching it. And we're so invested in the characters that when one of them um, died off yesterday, I was just bawling and in tears. But one thing that I enjoy about this show is, we talk about art imitating life or life imitating art. And there's always that question, which way does it go? And I believe that it goes both ways because there's definitely art, whether it's film or poetry or beauty around us that we can be inspired from. But equally, the artists that create it can become inspired by life and experiences that they have. So, anyway, these characters on the show are always, failing and succeeding and, the ups and the downs and the drama of life. However, they always keep coming back to trying to improve themselves somehow. And last night we were watching this show. My son, during a pause, he said, Mom, I've been thinking I am going to try to build the better version of myself. And I've decided I don't want to waste the summer. I want to create a schedule for myself. And he's a drummer. So he made this little schedule, like he was going to get up and have breakfast and then practice on his practice pad, have free time, go to lunch, come back, drum for an hour, have free time, come back and practice a little bit later. And he's also wanting to include an exercise regime, something to, tone and build up his body. And I just thought it was so cool that a 16-year-old um, who was inspired by circumstances in life, or maybe inspired by the show that we were watching, I don't know which, but he took it upon himself to say, I want to create the best version of myself. And I don't know, this morning I woke up thinking about what I was going to teach, and I thought about that moment, and I thought, this is why I do yoga, because yoga and meditation is geared to pull up the best of ourselves, whether it's to heal the wounds so that we're not staying stuck in the past, whether it's to find the beauty within or find new skill sets, to gain confidence and courage to break out of the box, to try new things, to take leaps of faith, to go places unknown. So I want us to use this practice as a way to inspire ourselves. How can we become the best version of me, of you? And we can use all of these tools on the mat to do that. Sometimes it's just rewiring the mind and our thought patterns. So we're going to start in child's pose today. I'm not projecting using too many props, but we are going to do yin at first, be a little active, and come back to yin. So extended child's pose. I'll meet you there. But instead of just holding extended child's pose, which usually the arms are straight ahead, we're actually going to lift the head and the heart, and we're going to walk the arms over to the right. And then pour back down and allow the elbows to sink. Your brow can even rest. Close your eyes. Open up the channel of breath. And notice when you start to control the breath, how the left lung really expands in the front and back of the body.
So know that this is a great way to replenish our lungs and respiratory system. Feeling it sliding up through the waist, through the intercostal, separating the ribs, and even on the outside of the arm and shoulder. On your next inhalation, lift your head off the ground and we'll walk the hands over to the left side. Let your forearms melt down. Let your head take rest. And then start ballooning more into your right lung. Feeling it inflate and deflate. Maybe being contemplative on what you could begin to improve in order to be your best self. Maybe it's a mental attitude. That's what we spoke of earlier. Mental attitudes concerning other humankind from Sutra 1.33. Keep opening up your breath. Noticing if the sensation shows up differently on the second side. On your next inhale, let's lift the head and the heart. Let's walk the hands back to center. And when you come up through tabletop position, we're actually going to roll down to the abdomen. We're going to send the left leg to the left side of the body, the left arm in front of the body, and the right arm to the right side of the body. And then you can determine here which cheek you want to rest on. A 4-point star. This reminds me of a weather vane that points north, south, east, and west. And so just consider for a moment on how each day we have choices to make, from what time we want to get up, to how we want to spend our morning, to what we want to wear, to what we want to consume, whether or not we move and exercise the body, how much to sleep, who to talk to, what actions to take, and whether or not those choices are leading us to our best self. Right now, we're opening up the yin meridians on the inside of the arms, legs. On your next in breath, just slide your left arm back, turn your gaze off to the left, bend your left knee, and then walk the hands in and the elbows slightly forward and drop into your prayer hands. So you have a half frog leg and half back bend. Thumbs resting at your brow, but the eyes are closed. Maybe take a moment to envision your best self. What would you look like? And by that, I don't mean appearance. What would yourself be like? Maybe it's being less moody or more patient, more kind and considerate or compassionate. Maybe goal oriented. Vision it now. All right, we're gonna transfer to Sphinx arms. So walk your elbows closer, slide your hands apart, and as you push through the forearms, prop up your head and heart a little higher. Build up your back bend. Affirming, I rise joyfully to greet each and every new opportunity to become my best self. You can casually gaze over that left shoulder. We're going to take the left leg back behind us, and then we're going to swap this to the other side. So your right leg, look over your right shoulder, slide your right leg to the right arm out in front, left to your left side, and then turn the opposite cheek than you did before. Flow into the abdomen. Feel it expand and contract. And it's not just the muscle expanding and contracting, it's the inner organs moving and shifting. All right, we're going to slowly slide the hands in enough. Gaze over the right shoulder, bend that right knee, prop onto the elbows and prayer hands, starting to gain an open heart. Remembering the hips and the second chakra are about relationships and creativity. The heart regards love. And we love the lessons that we learn in life. Can we love ourselves even when we're not the best version of who we could be? Love ourselves enough to become the best version. Build up higher to Sphinx arms. So we're going to extend the spine. Open up more space here in the neck. Rooting down through the forearms, lifting through the top of the head. All right, we're gonna slide the right leg back. And this time we're going to cinch the palms together, lace the fingers, curl the toes, pop up to forearm plank. This is where we're gonna get a little active, but then start to elevate your hips and travel the feet forward towards your face. Keep lifting through the sacrum, keeping your head away from touching the floor, pressing back away from your hands into dolphin. As we exhale, let's land the knees, but notice the knees may be right up underneath the belly. So you may want to walk the knees back to be aligned under the hips. Separate your hands, come into a forearm cow, and then maneuver into the forearm cat. And then inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So notice we're restricted a little bit with what we can do in the upper part of the back. So we use that as a warm-up. Let's build onto the stilts of the arms, and we'll do it the regular way. So drop the belly, open up the chest. Exhale, drop the tailbone, zip up through the midriff, lift through the shoulder blades, and lower the head. And then let's work back and forth between these two asanas. After this cat stretch, come to a flat back, curl your toes, launch into downward facing dog, pushing up and back away from the wrists. We're going to do a little flow here. On your inhale, descend to tabletop. Exhale, push back, child's. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, table. Exhale, child's. We're going to do one more. Inhale, table. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, table. Exhale, extended child's pose. All right, we're coming back to downward facing dog. But we're not going to remain. We're going to actually walk the hands back towards the feet. And I want you to be active in Uttanasana, meaning pressing through the feet and straightening and structuring your legs. As you inhale, slide your hands up to your upper thighs. Shoulders roll back, look down below the face, crank the elbows and wing them alongside your ribs. Create that 90-degree angle with your body. Inhale, arms circle up, come to upward worship at the top, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, expand your arms, arch back. Exhale, Uttanasana. Doing that again. Inhale, wrist to the hip crease. 90 degrees with your form. Pause and breathe here, making sure you feel weight below your toes as well. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, dive down. All right, this time, go ahead and start to bend your knees. And I want you to hold your wrist, forearms, or elbows today. Now we've entered into the yin form of Uttanasana, which is called dangling pose. It's okay to shift and sway and move at first, but you then want to move into stillness. As you're doubling down here, I want you to imagine that you're releasing any and all negative thought patterns, habitual thought patterns, any inner dialogue rooted in fear or doubt, or anything that holds you back from being your best self. Couple more breaths. Then let's walk it forward to downward facing dog. I'm going to turn around real quick because I want to be able to face you for the next one. So once you return to down dog, your left knee and shin is going to come down at the front of the mat, but we're going to lower the right knee, push away from the right hand, and flip to the inside of that right foot for deer pose. Now in deer pose, you're just kind of leaning over the front shin. And then of course, if it's available for you to go lower, you can certainly do so. Some people like to provide a headrest, something to lay on, a block or bolster. But you can also come down to rest on your hands.